strangers that I thought might just pass your way. They would tell you of these feelings we might make.
Hello family, Dr. Ross here. Welcome to a special edition. This is a friend of mine, Grant Parker, and this is his plane, well, one of them. I've been wanting to go up in Grant's plane for a long time. This is a Maule M5 220C, and Grant completely rebuilt it himself. It's a 1970s airplane. He put all new skin and put the new big tires. Doesn't got a lot for leg room. In fact, I was sitting in here the first time ever. I was noticing it was pretty basic. Kind of reminded me of my old Harley. No frills. Yeah, there's nothing to it. It's like a go-kart.
Yeah. Pull this, it makes this move.
Yep. Thing's built really light. Got a paper skin on it. The headphones are noise canceling, voice activated intercom system, and we talked the whole day we were in the plane, but obviously that didn't get picked up on the GoPro. It's extremely loud without the headphones on. I wish you could hear the conversations that we had and Grant talking to the other pilots on the radio. But I'm just going to have to narrate for you. You can still just imagine what it'd be like. We took off right at sunrise. Grant's gonna fly me through some canyons where he's looking for mountain goats. Grant is a hunting guide, and he can go into these valleys and find mountain goats and the deer and the elk. And he's been spotting for wildlife up in here. It's very hot weather lately, and it was extremely rough air, choppy air, buffeting the plane all over the place when we were going over these cliffs. We're looking for the elk and the mountain goats, and trying not to get dashed into the cliffs while we fly around. Just 2 days prior to this flight, Grant had walked for 2 days on that ridge line, and he's using a long-range spotting glass to track the habitat of the wildlife for a future hunt that's coming up where he'll be able to guide the people in. Right here he's showing me where he camped just 2 nights before. Walked that whole ridge on foot. This terrain is extremely inhospitable. Grant takes mules and will pack with mules in with hunters, and also do a lot of walking. Evidently this area here is prime hunting for deer and elk, but it's extremely challenging to navigate. You'll see me fantasizing that I could fly the plane myself. If it was some sort of post-Armageddon situation, I keep thinking I might be able to take it on. I guess Grant's being nice, filling me in on how everything works and letting me help him watch the gauges. After this day of flying, I was pretty sure I probably couldn't do it by myself, but I do love to fly. Getting my own license is one of those bucket list items. The air really smoothed out once we popped out into the valleys out of those steep canyons. Grant's showing me the other people's property, and now he's spotted his own ranch. That's the Lewis Parker Ranch up ahead. We're going to come in for a low flyby and make sure everybody's awake. If you look closely, you can see my wife waving on the front porch. Yeah, everybody's awake. We're going to take a long, slow circle around the field, and we're going to land facing right into the sun. We were blinded. Couldn't see anything. I'm worried about what to do with my feet so my legs don't get in the way. Despite the fact we were blinded, that was the best cow pasture landing I ever experienced in my life. Also the only cow pasture landing I ever experienced in my life.
It was hard to see my strip when I landed. Basically looking at my tire.
Yeah, well, from what I could see, you were on this side of it.
I was on it. But my left tire was on the edge. But
Yeah.
I was watching my left tire.
That's what you were looking at?
Yeah. You should be able to see our tracks. Yeah, you can see
Yeah, because I could see half the
you can see our
strip.
2 tracks right there.
Yeah. Well, after we had some breakfast with our family and did some chores, it was time to take off again. Grant has some business to do in a neighboring town, and I got to experience my first and best ever cow pasture takeoff. Just a great way to travel. The drive would have taken us over an hour, and we made it over here in about 10-15 minutes. Extremely windy here, and we were coming over the airstrip checking out which way to land. It was about to be a pretty hairy landing with a tailwind that was extremely unpredictable. I was grateful to be sitting with a skilled pilot. Now here you can notice the angle that the plane had to be set at to line up with the airstrip. Pretty unsettling if you haven't had the experience. Nevertheless, it was a nice soft landing. After a short time, we got the business done in that town, and it was time to take off and fly back to the hangar. I had one of the greatest days I ever had. I'll remember it forever. And thanks to Grant for taking me along for the day. It was super fun. Some may wonder, with all the folks living on top of each other in the cities, how is all this vast, beautiful landscape uninhabited mostly? Upon closer inspection, you'll find that the ground is almost all just rock. It's extremely rugged. It's a nightmare for developers, very difficult to farm. Just a few types of grasses, hardy breeds of cattle, and tough horses, and tough men and women. About all that can survive out here. So if you spend any time thinking about an owl or an endangered frog, you might want to throw in a prayer for the American rancher. Dying breed. You know, few people realize 2% of Americans are farmers and ranchers. That means 2% of the population is responsible for feeding all of us. For many of them, a labor of love a lot of times is just a thankless existence. They work hard and play hard. It's a hard life.